always start performances with the conkhorn. It was used to call the slaves to work in the Caribbean, and they used it to call each other to rebellion. I use it to purify the air. So, I was in India, Jaipur Literary Festival, and I was doing my thing. And then Gita approached me after my performance at the Jaipur Literary Festival, and I'd already been by their book, you know, their table, and Gita said, "Would you be interested in doing a collaboration with a Patua artist on Martin Luther King?" Now, I knew nothing about Patua at the time, but Martin Luther King, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. So Martin Luther King is special to me. And I got all excited. I told him, "Martin Luther King." I said, "You come to the right place." I said, "You have no idea how much you have come to the right place, because Martin Luther King changed my world. I grew up in the South, the apartheid South. And Martin Luther King rocked our world. So when Gita asked me to do Martin Luther King, I was like, oh, I was meant to do that. And she said, "Oh yeah, a collaboration with a Patua artist. He does they do traditional scroll storytelling." So I said yes. Little did I know the experience that I was in for. And so they sent me some of his drawings. And I'm starting to see kind of the beauty of it. The cross-cultural quality of what we were about to do. So I'm starting to get kind of excited about the idea now. But now I'm starting to get a feel for it. And I'm starting to get a feel for the fact that it's a storytelling tradition. They take the scrolls and they go from house to house and they offer to sing a story. And I'm like, wow, you know. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'm starting to get a feel for this. Now, the first thing that this made me think is, hey, if they can do their storytelling tradition, I can do mine. I'm going to tell the story, Martin Luther King. I'm going to tell how he gave freedom. I can do my tribal storytelling. And I mean, I had the option. It was like, do I tell this straight? Do I just basically tell this? Or do I make a myth out of it and play with it as a Delta storyteller? So Martin Luther King was called upon by the moment. Well, the call that came to Martin Luther King was the Montgomery bus boycott. And this is my news, oh man, his vision of a bus in Montgomery. The blacks in the back, crowded into the back. The whites sitting in the front. Go ahead. This is one of my favorite of them all. Martin Luther King, The March on Washington. Manu went wild on me. You know, I was not expecting such beauty. But this was the March on Washington. This was Martin Luther King at his greatest moment. Mostly the struggle was a litany of defeat. Martin Luther King's idea of struggle was that it should ennoble a people and that it should not degrade them. You know, so some folk, they get into struggle and it starts getting ugly, you know, and it starts getting ugly. And Martin Luther King was like, no, you know, struggle should ennoble us as a people. And so then when King got killed in Memphis, it seared Black Memphis. It seared Black Memphis' soul. And it still means so much to us, the legacy of Martin Luther King. Because I say in this book that it may have been the Civil War that freed blacks from slavery, but it was Martin Luther King that freed us from bondage. That he knew his time had come. And that's why he said, I don't know what's going to happen now. We got some difficult days ahead, but I'm not worried about that now. I just want to do God's will. And he's allowed me to go to the mountaintop. And I've been allowed to look over. And I've seen the promised land. And he said, I may not get there with you. I might not make it. But I want you to know that we as a people, we will get to the promised land. Thank you. I'm so proud of this book. I'm so proud of being, I'm so thankful to Gita and Manu and Tara for letting me be part of this.